It was a Tuesday afternoon, just after recess, and the air in Mrs. Whitaker's fifth-grade classroom smelled faintly of hand sanitizer and freshly sharpened pencils. The kind of quiet that followed playground laughter now gave way to the soft rustle of notebooks and the squeak of sneakers on the tile floor. "All right, class," Mrs. Whitaker clapped her hands. "Time for our What My Parent Does presentations." One by one, students took their turn standing up to share about their families. There was a boy whose dad was a firefighter, a girl whose mom worked at a local bakery, another student whose older brother was in the army, and, though technically not a parent, still received a respectful round of applause. Then it was Naomi Ellison's turn. She rose slowly, clutching a small index card with her name scrawled in purple ink. Naomi was quiet by nature, observant, thoughtful, not the kind to speak unless she had something worth saying. She looked at no one in particular and said, "My mom works at NASA." The silence came first. A beat, then a few chuckles, then laughter, subtle at first, but building like a wave. A boy from the back row called out, "Wait, NASA? Like Space NASA?" Another whispered, not quietly, "She's making that up." Even Mrs. Whitaker's eyebrows lifted slightly. She didn't laugh, but she didn't stop it either. Naomi stood still. She didn't fidget, didn't yell. Just repeated calmly, "She's a systems engineer at NASA." The room didn't know what to do with that. The words hung like an echo that didn't quite fit. Mrs. Whitaker forced a smile and moved the presentation along. "Thank you, Naomi. Next, we have Trevor." Naomi returned to her seat, ignoring the nudges and snickers. She sat upright, her face neutral, but her ears burned. She knew they didn't believe her. Not the kids, not even the teacher. To them, it wasn't just a job that felt implausible. It was her. A girl with deep brown skin, tight braids pulled back with a pink scrunchie, a secondhand backpack with a fraying zipper. Her sneakers had scuff marks. Her voice wasn't loud. Her words weren't fancy. So when she said NASA, they heard make-believe. A folded note landed on her desk mid-presentation. Theo, the boy beside her, leaned in and whispered, "Does she clean the bathrooms there or something?" Naomi didn't respond. Didn't cry either. But when the bell rang and backpacks flew off hooks, she stayed seated, eyes fixed on the door. For the first time, she wished her mom had a different job. Something ordinary. Something people understood. But even then, she didn't stop believing it mattered. Her mom once told her, "Some truths are too big for small minds. Let them catch up." She walked out of that classroom with her head high. Naomi's home sat at the quiet edge of Montgomery, Alabama. Yellow with green shutters. Always swept clean. The porch light came on before sunset. The screen door creaked just a little when opened. She stepped through that door, shoes half kicked off, and dropped her backpack at the base of the stairs. The scent of garlic and onions told her mom was home early. Dr. Camille Ellison was at the stove, stirring something thick in a red Dutch oven. She didn't turn around. "You're late," she said, not accusatory, just noticing. "Had to help wipe down desks," Naomi mumbled, slouching into a chair. Camille turned, took one look at her daughter, and lowered the flame. "Talk to me." Naomi was quiet, tugging at her sleeves. Then they laughed. Camille didn't flinch. She sat down. "Why?" "I told them where you work. They thought I was lying. One kid said maybe you clean bathrooms." Camille paused. Not a sigh, just a recalibration. "What did you say back?" "Nothing." Mrs. Whitaker moved on real fast, like she didn't want to deal with it. "Do you believe you did something wrong?" "No." "Then don't wear their ignorance like it's yours." They sat in the quiet hum of bubbling stew and barking dogs. "You know," Camille said, stirring again, "when I told my high school counselor I wanted to work in aerospace, she suggested I try secretarial school. Said I should be realistic." Naomi blinked. "What did you do?" "Stop going to her office." "Did it hurt?" "Yes, but also lit a fire. I wasn't mad at her. I just decided she didn't get to define me." Naomi smiled. "Not big, just enough." Camille wiped her hands. "Parent Day's this Friday, right?" "Yeah. I might come. I get the day off. Might wear that blazer you hate." Naomi's eyes lit up. And your badge? Camille smirked. Absolutely. Friday came faster than expected. The class buzzed with sugar cookie energy and nervous excitement. Naomi hadn't told anyone her mom was coming. At 9:15, the classroom door creaked open. In walked Dr. Camille Ellison, black blazer sharp, NASA badge gleaming. The room stilled. Naomi stood up. This is my mom. Dr. Camille Ellison. Mrs. Whitaker blinked. Would you like to share what you do? Camille nodded. I'm an aerospace systems engineer at NASA. I help design and plan mission systems for lunar and Mars programs. Mouths dropped. Whispers stopped. I didn't come to impress you, she added. I came because my daughter told the truth, and some of you didn't believe her. She walked to the board and unfolded a real schematic. You don't have to get it all. But next time someone says something that sounds too big to believe, pause before you laugh. Brilliance shows up in unexpected packages. She turned to Naomi. And when someone tells the truth with pride, let it stand. The room stayed silent. Respectful. Naomi sat straighter than ever. Back home, something shifted. Not loudly, but deeply. Naomi started sketching again. Helmets, satellites, star maps. Camille found a sticky note on the fridge a week later. I'm going to work there too. Love, Naomi. That Friday night, as lemon chicken roasted and Naomi drew a rotating solar satellite, Camille asked, Do you think they believed you after I left? Naomi paused. Some did. Some didn't. Then you keep showing up. That's the hard part. But it's the truth. The next Monday, Naomi walked into class, not expecting cheers. And none came. But the silence was different. Respectful. Theo avoided eye contact. Samira said, Your mom was amazing. Even Mrs. Whitaker pulled Naomi aside to apologize. I should have handled that moment better. Naomi nodded. That was enough. Not everyone changed. Dean still muttered, NASA girl. But Naomi didn't flinch anymore. She raised her hand more. She knew she belonged. One day, someone whispered, She thinks she's better than us. Naomi replied, No, I just know I belong here. That shut them up. At home, Camille noticed her daughter talking more. Drawing more, believing more. It wasn't about proving anyone wrong anymore. It was about believing something true, even when the room doesn't. When asked in gym class to write a non-sports goal, Naomi wrote, Engineer space missions like my mom. No one laughed. Later, Mrs. Whitaker read it aloud during morning announcements. I want to build machines that go where people haven't been. Because someone has to, and I think I can. The class was quiet. No more smirks, because they finally believed it too. At the end of the year, under Naomi's photo in the class memory book, someone wrote, Most likely to launch something into space. She smiled, not because it sounded cool, but because this time they meant it. And for every child with a big dream, may we remember, the badge doesn't just flash for NASA. It flashes for courage, truth, and showing up anyway. Naomi didn't need the applause. She just needed the room, and she filled it every step of the way.